Are you looking for a video editing masterclass? If so, you are definitely in the wrong place. But if you've never edited a video before and have got no idea how to start, then this could be helpful to you. Disclaimer, I'm new at this. I might show you things that can be achieved in a better way. I am in no way an authority on video editing or Davinci Resolve. I just want to help you get started and on that journey. That is where I post most of the videos I've made. A sub on there would be greatly appreciated. Davinci Resolve, a free video editor with a paid for version with more features, but I am using the free version. So, step one, obviously, launch Davinci Resolve. This is what your project manager looks like. These are things that I've worked on. Some are complete. You can load them up at any point. So, start a new project. Click the new project button down at the bottom right. Title it test video. That will be the name of it. And then you're greeted with this screen. It's kind of overwhelming. So I'm just going to go with what I would simply do to get a video going. For example, on this screen over here, I have a selection of cuts of me running in DayZ. Step one, very easy. Take one of the videos that you want to use, drop it into the media pool, or drop it down onto the timeline. The first tab is cut, which is for removing large chunks of the video. I'll be honest, I don't use that. I go straight to the edit tab, which is the third one along at the bottom there. So we're going to take our video, drop it down on the timeline. Let it go at the beginning. If you accidentally drop it away from the beginning, just draw a box around all of it and drag it and it'll snap closer. Incidentally, that snap is controlled by a small magnet here, right in the center of the screen. If you turn that off, it now will not snap. It will be exactly where you place it. You might want to use that in certain cases, but for most cases, that's not what you want. You want that magnet on, and then it will snap together, and there you go, like that. This link here is whether the link, it selects all the tracks of audio, and you'll see in a little while what that's like when we've got other audio when I add some music. So, for example, if you did a cut, it will cut through all of them. I tend to start with that on while I'm removing big chunks. Then later on, you might want to turn that off. We have a preview window here. We have basic play forwards, play backwards, and skip to the next sort of event, as it were, next edit. At the moment, there's nothing in the line. If I click that, it goes to the end. That's the next thing that happens. Let's run the video from the start and see how it starts, because this was just a recording of me running. So click play, and unfortunately, it starts with a black screen while I was loading in or something. We're now 5-6 seconds in. Still nothing's happened. We don't want any of this. So say I wanted to start right where the video comes in. Get as close as you can by moving the playhead backwards and forwards here like that. And then if you want to be right on the first frame, you can use the left and right arrow on the keyboard to move one frame at a time. You can literally get that very first frame. We're going to want to zoom in here to see certain bits. So the next important thing, these 3 zoom levels we've got here. The first one, full extent zoom. When you click that, it will show your entire timeline. If your video is 8 hours long, it is going to fit it all in one screen. Handy if you're skipping around, not that useful for actually doing anything. The next zoom level is the detailed zoom. It's going to zoom you right in. It's going to be very close. When I play, it's going to be moving along very, very quickly. Thirdly is the custom level, where you can set this to whatever kind of suits you at the time. So I sort of set that to where I want at the time, and then I flip between the 3 depending on what I'm doing. Okay, let me get back to the first frame of this. 1 frame at a time. Okay, so I want to cut this here. I want this to be the new beginning. I want this previous bit gone. There's a razor blade. I don't actually know where it is because I use the hotkey. There's a razor blade there for cutting through the video. Press B. I switch it's between A and B. A changes it back to the arrow, just a pointing arrow for moving video and using the normal functions. B switches to the razor blade. So I've nearly got my fingers on A and B the entire time. Because we've got snap on, when I get near the playhead, it actually snaps to where the playhead is. If I didn't have that magnet turned on, it would be practically impossible to get right on that. So that's why we have the magnet on. So move close, it's snapping, click. That has now cut that part of the video. So these are now separate videos. So now when I skip backwards and forwards through, it goes to the beginning, the cut, and the end, because that's another event in the timeline. but we want to get rid of everything before this. We don't want anything before that. The simplest way to do that is press A and change back to the arrow. I just draw a box around to select both. If you've got linked on and you click either one, it will select everything because it's linked. If there's a point where you want to take sound out, you would have to unlink it, because if I only wanted to now there's a red box just around the sound, because I might want to remove the sound and keep the picture. I might want to delete the sound and put music there or something. So I'm going to leave that unlinked for now, but I'm going to draw a box around both of those. Two ways of deleting. If you press backspace, it just removes it. You might want to remove it and put something else there, so use the backspace button above enter to just remove it. If you make a mistake, hold Control and tap Z to undo your last action, the same as most things in Windows. But I want to remove this, and I want this to be the new start, so I'm not going to use backspace. I'm going to use the actual delete button. That moves it and then bunches it up. So now the start of our video is at that first frame. I don't want it to just cut in. I want a nice kind of a transition. If you don't know what a transition is when you use some sort of graphical effect, you know, some kind of swipe or a blur or something to move from one piece of video to another. A blur is very useful if you find a cut from one thing to another quite jarring. But I'd like this to fade. I'd like this to fade in from black. So that's the media pool that shows all the media there, and we want to go to the effects toolbox. You'll be using this a lot. Video transitions, audio transitions, and titles. So I want a video transition and I want it to fade in. Now I think off the top of my head that is dip to color dissolve. So you drag that and drop that on the video at the beginning like that. I've got to zoom back in on the video. So there you go. This is dip to color dissolve. I think by default it's black. Anything that needs adjustment, when you click on it, it comes up in I think this is called the inspector. Yeah, this is called the inspector. The effects come up in here, and a lot of the buttons will be grayed out because not everything applies, but this is a transition here, so the transition is there. So when I click on the transition, if I click on the audio tab lights up. I might want to adjust the volume. I might want to make this track 10 dB louder. So click on the audio, go to the audio tab, turn the volume up, turn the volume down. If I just wanted to turn the volume up of one particular piece, you've guessed it, I would press B to get the razor blade. I would cut that piece. I would press A to go back, select it, and then adjust the volume to that piece. The volume to this piece is now different than all the rest. Anything when you just want to work on one bit, you need to cut it so you can work on that bit. So we have a dip to color dissolve. That works for fading out. It also works for fading in. The color is black. You can change the color there, but I want to fade from black. You can also drag how long that effect takes. So if we want it to be quite quick, I run it from there, that fades in. That's kind of almost instant, isn't it? You wouldn't even really notice that. But if we want a long, slow fade in, I'm going to drag it all the way up to there and play that. And that is going to fade in really, really slowly like that, which is probably more what you'd expect for a fade in. That is not the only fade. If you want to remove that effect, just click on that effect, press the backspace button. Try and get in the habit of using backspace when you don't want things to bunch up. You probably use backspace to delete far more than use anything else, because I don't want it to move anything else on the timeline. These apply more to when you're going from one video to another. We will use some of those in a minute as well. So, a blur. The blur I also use. Let's drop a blur on the beginning. I like things to blur in like this. I like that. I like that as effect. That can be quite useful when doing cuts. So now it blurs in. Oh dear. Look, because I've changed position in the game, it's going to take 1 minute and 14 seconds to load in. So actually, I don't want all that. So I want it to fade in to just before that comes up there, and then I want this whole bit gone. So press B. I'm going to cut there and there, and then I'm going to go and find the bit where the counter is on, I don't know, one second. Actually, I'm going to have it on 4 seconds because I'm going to use another transition. 5 seconds. Let's call it 5 seconds, and then I'm going to cut here, there, and on there. So now we don't want this whole section. So I want to catch all the bits of the audio track and the video track. So I'm going to draw a box, including those, so they're all highlighted red like that. This time I'm going to press delete. I want it to bunch up, like so. So now, when we start at the beginning, we've got the long fade in, or blur in, and then it cuts. But it's kind of quite jarring. So let's use another transition across that line. Let's go to the detailed view. What about a spiral wipe like that? Let's see how that looks. Drop that, because this is not an intro in. We want to transition from one video to the other. You want it to bridge over the two videos. You can put it on either side, but I want it to bridge the gap, so I'm dropping it there. Some transitions you can't do that. Some transitions need to. It won't bridge the gap. It goes on the next. It goes on the next bit of video. So if it doesn't go across, just put it there and see how it goes. So now fade in, and then spirals to the next bit. That's not the best transition for that, but you can go through and have a look. And I certainly can't give you any creative tips. So fade in, transition to that, cut down, and there's a long black screen there. That doesn't need to be there. If you're making videos, you don't really want bits like that, do you? So I'm going to remove from there. I won't need to use a transition from this because it's going to look nearly the same. Apart from the load bar, it's going to look the same. So I've cut there. I need to cut the audio. I've moved the line, but you'll see it snaps. So I can cut the same place in the audio. So we're going to move up. I just want to get the end like that. I'm going to go back a couple of frames using the left arrow key. There we go to there. Cut, cut, select that whole bit, delete button, bunch it up. Now the black screen is so short, and you didn't even really notice the bar. You don't need a transition for that. That kind of just, you wouldn't even really notice that black screen just cuts from that bit to the other bit. That's it. So we want some graphics at this point. We want a warning, this guy's a noob. I have a graphic that says noob, so I'm going to go back to the media pool over here at the top left, and I'm going to add this noob graphic to the pool. And I want that as a warning. You start watching this gameplay of me running, I want that warning. I want you to know. Also, I might want that to come up exactly as I open that, and it comes up a little earlier. Let's zoom in. Let's find the bit where I open the inventory, which is there. That's the first frame of it. Make sure you're on A, so you don't cut. B is played. A is move. I'm going to move this to snap on that line. Now that should come up at the same time as the inventory. Like that. Comes in perfectly frame for frame. But I don't want it there. I just want it over here. So how do we control where that goes? Again, make sure you pressed A. Select that. Select the thing that you want to work on. Go over, as I said before, I think I said this before, everything graphical, video, images are blue above this halfway line here. Anything sound is green in the bottom half. And you can drag that up and down. You can have your preview window smaller if you like, by dragging that up and down and having more room down the bottom. To start with, you probably won't have many layers of stuff, but later on you might want more room. So highlight this, then go over to the inspector. On video, got a variety of things we can do with the video. The main ones will be cropping. If you want to crop a bit of it off, like that crops the bottom off. That will crop from the right, but we want all of it, but we just want it moved over. So zoom, you can click in the zoom. You don't need to type these numbers in. You can click in there and move the mouse left and right, which is fantastic to save you putting the numbers in. So I want it slightly smaller, so just drag to the left. Position, X and Y, just click, drag left and right. Move that over there. Needs to be a little smaller. Get that exactly where you want it. Want it somewhere like that. So play that now. Comes up at the same time there. Don't need it up that long, so I'm going to reduce that by going over to the end, so you get like the double brackets. Click and hold to drag it shorter. Also, I'd like a transition. I've decided I don't want it to just appear there. I want some kind of transition on it. So go back to effects. What have we got? A mosaic effect. Drag that on. That will, okay, to be honest, I don't know which. Drag mosaic onto there. Play. And You may get a stutter when it's a new effect, as it kind of caches the effect. Don't worry about that. That won't be there in the final output. Because now we've played it once, it's fine, you see. Also, that was too quick, so I want it to take longer. Mosaicing that in, so I'm dragging the effect. Like that. Slowed it down. I would like some... I'd like a little bit of background music. Oh, hang on, I'll tell you what would be a good effect first. There you go. Let's add this. What is this? You can see this is very loud relative to the background, because you can see from the lines here. So I want to turn the volume down on this a great deal. So, click on it again. Go to the inspector, audio, volume levels. You can drag in the box. I want it to sort of be similar to the peaks on the other one. So let's play. Okay, I'd like that to start when the noob bit appears. And the sound starts here, so I would just simply drag that along. Okay, I don't want it to be that long. That's how long the file is, so what do? So press B, get the razor blade, cut this. This is where you definitely don't want the link turned on. I don't want to cut through everything, I just want to cut through the music. So I'm going to cut there, press A, select, click on that, press backspace to remove it and don't move anything else, just remove that, there we go. But I don't want it to, it's going to cut off very abruptly. That's not good. I want that to fade out. So again, going back to the effects, audio transitions, I want a crossfade. A crossfade fades one thing down and the new thing in. There's nothing new to fade in. We just want it to fade out. So it doesn't matter, but it is called crossfade. There's 3 crossfades. I use the 0 dB. Drop that on the end like that. This should fade it out. There you go, that fades down. Also, what if I wanted some kind of title at the beginning? I didn't think of adding a title at the beginning, so let's go all the way back to the beginning. And let's add some titling in. So back in the effects section, you can turn any of these on or off if you want more room. I tend to leave that open. Titles. You can actually move over these and it will show you what they do as you slide along. A scroll title can be quite nice. We could put that there. So it's visual, so it drags onto the top half. Put that there. When we run that, that will just say scroll title. That's the word in it. We need to get it away from that transition. That looks awful near that transition. Let's go up here. Click on that. That's in the box. That will now scroll up the screen. Okay, that goes into the next bit. That looks awful. We don't like that. I want that to end before it cuts to the next bit. Now, when you hover over the end of things, you get the two different markers. We don't want to be on the double bracket. I want to be on the single bracket like that to move it over there and make it scroll faster. If you move with the double bracket, you are just cutting it off. So when it gets to that point, it will just cut with wherever the text is. By using the single bracket like that, as opposed to that, it just makes it fit the whole scroll in this shorter bar. I don't really like it going up the left. I want it to go up the middle like credits. So again, select the text. You'll find various effects and things in here. We can change the color if you'd like. If you'd like it a nice light green, you can change the font. Change to something a bit snazzier like that. There we go. Alignment, left align, right align, centered. So I'd like it to go up the center like that. I'd like it to be slightly bigger. So on the settings, there's a setting tabs. You have to go from title to settings. All of these boxes change dependent on what you can adjust for the effect that you're looking at. I want it bigger like that. So that is just dragging the zoom. Transition. Thank you for watching my video. A little bit of starting music. So again, audio track. If this is going to be long, I don't want to put that on the same. I don't want to put it on. I've got audio track 1 with the main game. Audio track 2 has got the suspense sound. This is very long because this is a soundtrack. So I'm going to go to track 3. If it's a short sound, you could keep it there, but I don't want to mess it. So I want to keep them all separate. So drop that on track 3. Drag it to the beginning. Let's see how that comes in. Bit abrupt for me. I'd like an audio transition. So I'm going to go to audio transitions and drop a fade in on the beginning. I like that. In fact, I'll have that a little bit longer. So the music unfortunately runs into the suspense sound here. So we want that gone and out before the suspense sound. So again, press B for blade. I'm going to cut the music there. I'm going to change back to A to select that. I'm going to press backspace to not bunch anything up. And you guessed it, we're going to use an audio transition to fade it out. There you go, crossfade there. A little bit longer. So we come in with a blur dissolve and a fade in. We have a spiral wipe. I hate that spiral wipe there. I would never use that there. But obviously just to show you, that's kind of annoyed me every time I see it, but that's fine. That's absolutely fine. So there we go, fade in, spiral wipe, text. Cut out all the load time, straight into the video, fade out the music. Inventory comes up, noob. Dun dun dun. Fade out the sound, end the noob bit. Back in the gameplay, we're looking at inventory far too long. So you guessed it. B, cut, cut, select all. We want to bunch it up, so use the delete button. What if we would like to have a cut where a part of it is zoomed in, where I want to show the inventory, for example? There is a way of doing it, slowly zooming in and out, but I will leave that till a subsequent video. If you want to see more on this, on some of the more detailed stuff, where it'll be a whole video on how to do a particular thing that's slightly more complicated, hit that subscribe button to make sure you see it. Hit that thumbs up so I know you want to see it, and then I will make more of these depending on how well this one does. So let's get to the inventory. Let's say for the last bit, I want to be really zoomed in on this inventory here, so you can really see what's there. So let's go to where the noob disappears. And I need a cut because I want to work on just this segment. There's a cut there. Press B. Cut there. We don't need to cut the sound for this because we're not making any change to the sound. Press A, select this. At the moment, it plays over. It's all the same size. But now we're going to click on this segment. And I want to change the zoom level. Well, we can't see it because the playhead has to be on it. Sorry, I had the playhead out of it. If you're ever adjusting it and it's not doing it, it's because the playhead isn't showing the frame you're working on. So I need to select it, and we need to see it by having the head on it. There we go. Now when I drag it, we can see. I'd like to move it over. Use an X. I'm going to move it up ever so slightly. Like that. Now this whole bit is zoomed in. The rest are not. There you go. Look at the inventory like that. Oh, you might want to record voice over it. You might want to do a small intro. There's a little microphone. This is a feature added recently to Davinci where you can record straight into it. Previously, I think you would have had to record and drop into it. There's a little microphone over here. Click the microphone. Opens up. Name of it, Audio 4. Make sure it's set to your microphone. You will see if the line is moving there. Record track. Let's have it on 3. I don't want to record it over the other one, so record track 3, which is here, which is where the music was, but it's long since ended. We're going to click start recording. There will be a countdown and it will start recording. Hello, this is the voiceover to my excellent new video. Thanks for watching. Click stop. We now have an audio track. Hello, this is the voiceover to my excellent new video. Thanks for watching. So what have we covered? We've covered video transitions, audio transitions, how to add a title. Rather than just cutting the video off to black, you might want something of an outro. Yeah, I like that. We need to cut that there, cut that there. So you're halfway through your video, you want to close it. So just go to File, Close Project. Give it a couple of seconds. It saves it, goes back to the project manager. We can close it all down. Next time you launch Davinci, the project manager will open and your project will be there exactly as you left it. Test video, double click. It loads all the changes that you've made. Okay, so your video is finished. We now need to render it, export it, so you have a video file of it. So we've been working on the Edit tab at the bottom. Go to the Deliver tab. I use custom export. There are some default setups there for YouTube or whatever you may be outputting to. I like to leave it and set these things myself. Enter a file name. I'll put new test video. Choose browse and choose a location. Mine goes to my videos Davinci. Export video. Format, I think I normally use QuickTime or MP4. Either of those is fine. Try both. Codec. H.264 or H.265. Very briefly, H.264 is the oldest one. It's the easiest to encode. The quality is not quite as good as H.265. Most of the time you won't notice the difference. It's also massively more compatible everywhere than H.265. Encode and leave on auto. Don't really change anything here, any resolution or anything. Preset, quality preset, rate control, quality, best. Nothing else really to change in there. The audio tab, not really anything to change there. If you want to normalize your audio, you can tick that and choose YouTube as the standard. It will bring up it'll normalize all the volume levels in your video. In most cases, you probably won't need that. Try both. Click add to render queue. You then have a render job over here. When you've got multiple render jobs in there, you can deselect them, click render all, or you can click on one and just render that one. I'm going to click render. It's going to render out the video. Okay, that's done. We have a video file. You can now upload that to YouTube. But hang on. Oh my God, what's he's forgotten? He hasn't even mentioned videos in short in portrait mode. Okay, so to do a YouTube short, for simplicity, I've just opened a new project. But I would normally edit the video the way I would normally edit, do exactly what we just did with the previous video. And then when you finish and you've got it all done as you want, press Shift and 9 to open up the project settings. And you just need to tick vertical resolution. It's right near the top there. Click that and save it, and then it's made it vertical, but obviously it's cut off a lot of both sides. So when you play, it's in the right aspect ratio for a short. Okay, I hope that gets you started on your DaVinci journey. Do me a favor, click the thumbs up, subscribe to this channel if you want to see some of the videos I churn out. Subscribe to the other channel, link in description, Merlin6R. One way and another, with making these videos for you and editing this video, I've done a lot of video editing today. So should I take the time to do a nice outro for this one, or should I just